Hello, welcome to this week's edition of Health Corner. This week we're going to talk about physical fitness. We haven't talked about this in the past, but we are lucky to have a plastic surgeon who is NHS certified in physical fitness, Mr. Oni Mandal. Welcome to Health Corner today.
Many thanks for giving me this opportunity to talk to people, talk to our community, talk to the Black, Asian and the ethnic groups regarding the fitness, regarding the motivation, along with the nutrition. So thank you very much.
It's fantastic. So Mr. Mandal is a plastic surgeon. He understands it all. We're going to listen to him speak about something he's very passionate about. He is very good. And Mr. Mandal, so if I start, obviously you have a message for the Black, Asian ethnic minority. Physical fitness is very important. Keeping active is part of our health. And we should take self-care of ourselves, not just about what we eat, but our activity. What would be your advice to the audience listening to you today?
Sure, that's a very relevant question for, well, all communities, definitely the Black and the Asian ethnic minority groups. And the reason for that is that if you look at the main two, the morbidities, which are very important, the type 2 diabetes and the cardiovascular disease, their incidence is pretty much like 5 to 6 times more prevalent in the BME groups. And also the incidence of mental health, the mental fitness, that is also equally important. So if you combine the physical health and fitness of mainly the control of the type 2 diabetes and the cardiovascular disease and looking after your mental health, the one thing which is very important is your physical fitness, how you're eating, you're looking, your attention to the nutrition and the combination of that. So what I'm going to, tell everyone today is it's not about the knowledge of, how to keep fit and how to eat well. That's there in, thousands of YouTube videos, isn't it?
Yes.
What I'm going to tell that how to make it happen, how to get the easy ways of, getting your nutrition right and getting your physical fitness right. So first things, I think, you need to set up a goal. That is the key thing. And the goal these days, what we advocate is called SMART goals.
Yes.
So SMART means like a, specific, measurable, it's like, realistic and time-based. So it's actually what you can achieve. It's no point saying that, oh yeah, I'll run marathon next week. That's not going to happen. But if you tell, okay, fine, I can do, for example, 5 push-ups, how I can make it to 15 push-ups. Those sort of things are realistic.
Yes.
So first things, is a balance of nutrition and your physical exercise. And as I said, the key thing is you get your motivation right, make sure that you are actually doing it pretty much on a everyday basis. And what is advocated that you should do, or everyone should do, like 30 minutes of active exercises every day. Now, how to do it? I'll come to that, in the sectors based on everyone's abilities, so that everyone can do it. You don't need to be a sort of advanced level of a fitness freak to do it. And I'll show you some simple things where everyone can make themselves active. First things first, important bit is nutrition. So it's said that nutrition and the physical fitness is like a 70-30 balance. So you have to get your right, like a 70 things, whether it is your games is weight loss, or whether it's increase your stamina or increase your strength. nutrition is the key. And the way to eat healthy is like, to follow little steps which will bring really good results. The first thing again, like there are lots of, is going on for the intermittent fasting and the other is. But what I'll suggest that, if you concentrate on a good breakfast, reasonably good lunch and light dinner. So it's said like a breakfast like a king, lunch like a lord, and dinner like a pauper.
Yeah.
So if you follow that, and the key thing again is less carbs, again simple things, less carbs. So amount what you call as a low carb diet is less than 100 gram of carbohydrate, very low carbs is less than 20. You don't have to really rush to the very low first. Like doing a low bit is fine, and then make sure that you are eating really nice protein. So protein wise, it's like 1 gram per kg of body weight. That's a standard guide. So if your body weight is 80 kilo, so 80 gram of proteins is absolutely fine. And if you can fill it up like from your breakfast, then lunch, then dinner, that's really good. Then the other things is like, it's very simple things. Drink a lot of water, because lots of time you think that your hunger is actually because of food, but actually it's because you're dehydrated and your water really fills up. And the water, what it does is like, if you go like a 2.5 liters up. So if you're doing exercise, you aim for 3 liters to 3.5 liters, which is as simple as 7 to 8 glasses of water.
Yeah, is that part in 24 hours? Or is it per
24
day?
hours.
Yeah, right.
So it's 24 hours. We are telling people to drink 8 to 9 glasses, which is very much doable. But as I said, people don't do it. People know it over there and then keep themselves dehydrated. Then what happens? All this craving comes in, especially in the evening time. So if you feel yourself well and if you eat the right type of protein, and that's where all these small like nuts, these are the small bits like avocado, which will clean your gut. So these bits actually help. And there's one banana, a bit of oranges. This, what will happen, you keep your metabolism right. And that is the key. When I come to the fitness, I'll talk about that as well.
Yes.
But for the nutrition, this is the key. To get your breakfast right, lunch right, don't eat too much in between. And if you want to have, you get it like a healthy foods, like, nut, avocados, those type of things. And obviously you should be away from your refined sugars. Obviously, ice creams and chocolates, these are absolute no-nos. But the people sometimes don't know, like juice. There are lots of carbohydrates there, lots of sugars there. And without even knowing, you're actually having it. So these things definitely to avoid. And if you can do that, then you are actually following a pattern of nutrition, which is right, protein filled, and which will give you stamina, strength, and which will avoid your craving as well.
Right. I know, obviously, being from the Asian continent, you see a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know at some point there's an African consultant who will also speak to,
Yes.
Yeah. So are there some foods you think people should avoid by all costs? Well, especially people who want to lose weight.
Absolutely, you're absolutely spot on and right. The thing is that you should be eating what is your culture. You shouldn't be going like changing your culture altogether. So for African Asian foods, you can make it happen. Like all you have to do is to cut down the portion, and the portion I like to stress it's very, very important, because the same portion, if you're having it 3 times, it's adding up 3 times of calories, it's adding up 3 times of fats and carbohydrates. People don't realize again.
Yes.
So what is very important that water in between, or this to keep yourself filled. Like say you have given the example of, say for example, Asian food, So everyone heard about tandoori, it's like chicken tandoori,
yes.
Like a grill-based things. And same in the African continent. I've been to, Cape Town and Egypt and other areas, Morocco. And there are lots of foods which are actually very healthy. And you just have to bank on those things, like say, okay, fine, I've got a, say, chicken tagine and things like that, where I have a little oil or the good oil. That's another thing is very important. Like you can have good fats. Not all fats are bad. So you can have a little bit of olive oil, bit of butter, bit of peanut butter. These are good. And you can actually get into the culture of your own food, which are healthy. Like, a lot of Indian curries are, maybe with lots of, especially from, from if you're having from a takeaway restaurant, it can be, you can't measure that oil, isn't it? But That's another thing. If you cook yourself,
Yes.
and if it is home cooked thing, then you exactly know, fine, I have actually given 2 teaspoonful of oil. So I know that, okay, how much oil I've used.
Yeah.
And you can make it like a tandoori, you can brush it with a little bit of oil, absolutely fine. Because one thing, you all need to remember that, food is something, you need to be happy with it.
Yes.
You can't be like, eating only boiled food and then what happened, a craving happened.
Yes.
So you need to be happy with it. It needs to be palatable. It needs to be tasty as well. So healthy and tasty, that's our combinations. A lot of things like we in Indian and the Asian way, we do like a combination of British Indian, like say salmon.
Yes.
So you can actually make a salmon tandoori, you can make a grilled salmon. And salmon is nice fish, everyone will enjoy it no matter where from you are. Like say, you can put your African recipe in those fishes. And another thing, fishes are very, very good because they got the right oil, the right fat, the right protein, everything is fine. So you can do like this. You can make your eggs like that. You can make your chicken like that. So you are actually putting your recipe, your grandma's recipe, you call it, like from Africa or Asia, doesn't matter. But you're giving the same flavor and the same taste, yet healthy.
And that comes to, because the audience will be asking,
Sure.
I know a lot of them that will be wondering, when they go to shops to buy, they want something that tastes nice, but there has to be a balance. Between
course.
sugar and fats. I mean,
Sure,
yes.
sure.
So for people who want to lose weight or want to be active, what is your advice around, buying takeaways?
Yes, again, a very good question. Now, the thing is, what you need to understand that, when you are losing weight, it's a balance between what's going in and what's coming out. That's the balance. Now, and that's if you will break out like a weekly basis. So if you like a weekly bit, okay, fine, I've done the sort of good diet for 2 to 3 days. And then one day I can do a little bit of, levi type of thing. You can't do that. Takeaways, the main problems is, as I said, you don't know how much sugar is coming up, how much oil is there. So that is the downside. And that's why home cooked food is a lot better. However, you may reward yourself, maybe one day. And if you look at all these standard, like say, weight loss clubs, you can call them like Weight Watchers and Slimming World, they all reward like a one day over there. And then the way they do it is basically they keep like your weekly balance right, which means like 5 or 6. It's almost like a working days, like 5 days you work hard, 2 days weekend, you can do a little bit. Yeah, it's like that. So there is no harm in little bit of it, but what I'll suggest that if you are focused on say losing weight, for the first 2 to 3 weeks, you need to see results. Yeah. Because the results will motivate you. For example, when you tell your patients to lose weight over there, those who have actually got some results in the first 2 to 3 weeks, they will get motivated and they will carry on, isn't it? So first 2 weeks, I will, tell everyone to be a little bit careful. Once you've got the results, then yes, you can have a little bit of entertainment if you wish. Yeah.
Right, okay. So what would be, obviously families eat together in a lot of the ethnic minorities. Would you advise families to eat together, or does that help to, obviously that helps with family cohesion?
Yeah, definitely. When we're discussing the nutrition, we'll probably discuss the physical fitness a bit later on. It is very, very important to eat together as best as you can, because on your dinner table, that's the area where you can share your day's work, your experience. It's a good thing for your mental health. Very, very good. And also it will allow you to slow down a bit. That's another thing, because if you eat very fast, then what happens that by the time you all know about the hunger center and satiety center. It's all in the brain. It's all in the satiety center. So you need to make sure that your satiety center is happy.
Yes.
To not allow me to to go for craving for more, and to allow those sort of desserts which are a bit like we call it sins a bit. So if we eat together, then what happens? You can talk a bit, you can share, and also especially for children, what I will advise that, to discuss about these things pretty much on a daily basis.
Okay.
Because what happens is all about habit, isn't it? I mean, you have seen in, say, Africa and Asia, it's all habit based. So sometimes you can have a heavy snacking at the evening. That's like a culture and a habit. You have seen your, dad and mom doing the same thing, and you are probably carrying on. But that's not the right thing. You have to question yourself, well, am I actually giving the right education to our children so that they get the right culture, and discuss about it? And more they discuss, they will ask about that. When, like, my son is very, he's very sort of into like a fitness, and they ask about the protein bit and what sort of protein they should eat, and is it healthy, is it not healthy? Have some conversation.
Yes.
So very, very important, to eat together and as a
Fantastic.
family.
Viewers, if you're joining us, we have Dr. Mandel
Yeah.
talking about physical fitness, but he's starting with the nutrition aspect of it. Now, we're going to end the first segment. When we come to the second segment, he's going to concentrate on physical fitness. So don't go away. We'll be back soon. Welcome back to the second segment of this week's Health Corner. Today we have the privilege to listen to Dr. Mandel, who is a plastic surgeon in Merseyside, Liverpool. He's come down to share his knowledge, expert knowledge, I must say, around physical fitness. The first segment is just a background around what we should do if you want to be fit. But we're now going into the real physical fitness. So, Dr. Mandel, I know people will want to listen to you. What are the things you think they can do at home? Whether do they have to go to gym, or is it possible to still keep fit without having to go to gym? What will you say?
Thank you. Very, very nice question, and very, very relevant as well. So first thing which I like to tell the audience that exercise can be done anywhere, anytime, and pretty much on a daily and weekly basis. The key thing, as I told earlier, to get motivated so that I'm doing it, and I'm doing it at least something every single day. Of course, if you are in a sort of advanced area, you can go to gym and you can do your full sort of 1 hour or to 1.5 hours exercise. However, if it is not possible, either you're busy or you're at home, you haven't got a gym membership, whatever the reason is, it can be still done very well at home. And I'll come to that one after another. So if we break down the exercises, like any exercise pattern that goes from a warm-up to a bit of stretching, so that you are actually activating all muscles of your body, and you're getting your stamina right. Okay. Then a light cardio, which in a gym, which you'll do on you can do a rowing machine, you can do on a treadmill, anything to get your heart rate up.
Yeah.
Because when your heart rate up, you are in the right area, what we call as either fat burn area or in the cardio area. Okay, so something like, say, healthy gentleman of 70 kilo, your heart rate is about sort of 140. Around that area, you are entering the cardio zone, which means that you'll burn fats nicely, and also you lose weight in that zone. So you lose calories.
Yep.
Now, if and to continue with that, then you can do some strength. So strength can be like your weight, so the weight training, the weight strength exercises, or you can do your body resistant exercises as a strength, and then you end up with a stretching. So you have got a cool down and stretching. So that is your like a full session. So those who do like bodybuilding exercises, or even like a stamina and the strength endurance exercises, they follow this pattern.
So for the interest of our audience, when you say body resistant exercises,
I'm coming.
Okay, you're coming.
Absolutely, I'm coming to that. So this is the pattern.
Yes.
Now, what I'll suggest, like say, if you are at home, so if your body is not aligned to do those sort of exercises for whatever reason, it can be you can have a bad knee, you can have a bad hip, or your exercise tolerance is not so good for cardiac or respiratory, asthma, or whatever it is. You can still do it. You can still follow that pattern in a sort of lower intensity. So for example, like a warm up bit, warm up just needs a little bit of moving, so you can do it like a little bit very light dancing steps.
Right.
So you can like a line dancing, very you can put up your own music, you can put up Bollywood, you can put up African music, doesn't matter. With the beats you do a little bit like side to side movement, hand movement, use your hands a bit to get your that's your warm up. Now for the cardio bit. Now cardio, if you look at that, how to get your heart rate up. Now American Society of Cardiologists, they say like 10,000 steps per day, but then 10,000 steps sometimes it's not possible. So I'll show you a small trick if that's okay.
Yes.
This basically we are actually advocating for people who can't use the sort of lower body, but obviously for steps, there's walking.
Yeah.
So that's your lower body part, and that's your walking and running. If you say can't do it for whatever reason, say for a knee injury or hip fracture or stroke or whatever, you have your upper body, and then if you just move your hands like this, just like a rolling movement, this is a part of what you call kickboxing. So when you do kickboxing exercises, this is a gym bit, and you do your rolling. Now I'm coming to another part. Now this is just to complete with that. So when you do that, that is actually count as it's iPhone. It's count as a steps in iPhone.
Right.
So you can actually see how much is that. It's pretty accurate because you can see that you can feel yourself. That, okay, this much I'm you can get the aching over there.
Yes.
And whenever it starts aching, it's actually working. That means it's actually crossing the line. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So just coming to that, there is a segment what is called as a HIIT. Okay, so HIIT is high intensity interval exercise or high intensity interval training. And this is getting popular. The reason for that is because a lot of people are busy. You can't do like 2 hours of running, 3 hours of exercises. This is like short blast. Okay, so you're giving a blast of say 15 minutes and then you rest. And what happens that is 15 minutes is carrying on your metabolism for the next 24 hours. So you are burning fat when you're sleeping. It's exciting, isn't it?
Yes, good.
It is known as that you are only rich if you're earning money when you're sleeping, isn't it? That's a saying, This is exactly like that.
Okay.
When you are burning fat, when you are not doing anything, but your body is still burning fat, that's the actual after burn. It's called after.
Yeah, I think the audience will connect a lot more with that. So can you give an example of that?
So what we can do, this is like you just need like 10 to 15 minutes of your time, which is very, very easy, I think. And there are there's plethora of exercises. It's actually what to get some videos and things like that when you actually for the exercises. But you all heard about say sport jogging, jumping jacks, those sort of thing, or a bit of push-ups, and do at your comfort level. Okay. Like say push-ups, if you are doing with your knees up and on your elbow, that's the proper push-up. But if you say can't do it for whatever reasons, you can put your knees down, okay, and let's just do your chest like that, and that also helps a lot. Right. Okay. Just to give you the HIIT one, what we have shown you, like a very simple exercise like that. Now what I'm doing, I'm just doing, this is the steady one, okay? This is the steady bit. Now what I'm doing really fast, okay? Really fast. Now what happened, when I'm doing really fast, it's actually going to the anaerobic metabolism. So it is actually going to lactic acid base, and that's burning fat because body has to look for somewhere where from I'm getting this over there, okay? So they're burning the fat at time. And this is very easily can be done, and this is classed as you can do like a HIIT because you can do like very fast, and you can see even the very fit person, like after 20-25 seconds you get fatigued. Then you slow down. So the whole idea of HIIT is you do an exercise really quickly and then you slow down a bit. So it's like it's called 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off.
Right.
Okay. So that way it helps, like a very simple things, or very very quickly if you like a marching, very quickly standing position marching. If your lower limbs are fine, same result, and you get like a 10 seconds rest, 20 seconds again come back. Okay. And you can combine over there, you can use your hands. Kickboxing is a good way of doing it the same bit, and that's why people lose quite a lot of calories in the kickboxing exercises. Squat is another good way, the lunges, these are the good things for. And what happens if I exercise, one is the HIIT. Second thing is very, very important that what you called as your stubborn fat and what is called your visceral fat.
Yes.
So a lot of people you may have seen that say, oh, I'm doing that much of exercises, still,
Yes.
nothing is happening. Because actually things are happening, but things are happening in your visceral fat, which people can't see. Okay. Now, these type of exercises like, HIIT exercises where you're actually challenging your body is targeting your stubborn fat straight away. So that's why the squats, lunges, push-ups, jumping jacks, even if you do it for 10 to 15 minutes a day, which is doable. Another thing is that, which I'll again tell my audience, that, when you're, say, even during your work, you have got some areas where you're having a tea, a bit of lunch break. You can try to make out, like, how can I make out 5 minutes out of it? Okay. You can do a simple, this type of exercises, in your office, coffee room. It's doable. Because what happens after a very hard day, people get tired and there's no time for it. So what we are advocating now and telling people to do it while you are in work or even before that. So in the morning, or take the 5 to 10 minutes interval to do it. And once it gets in a habit, then it's doable. I know that, when, as in Canisburn in Glasgow Royal Infirmary, there was a running club during lunchtime. And you do like a 10 to 15 minutes running, with the staff and that's a good thing because it gives a bonding exercise. You're doing as a team. And those who are, not really in fitness, they get motivated as well. They say, okay, let's do 15 minutes. Let's get into it. And I know quite a number of them and now, running half marathons and things because they are so much into it now that they carried on. And so like this is definitely doable.
And like you said, it's all about setting a goal and consistency, isn't it? So,